when Moses left Egypt, he was not crying, I have lost my prince throne. No, he was seeking God. And I am sure Jethro told him, because Jethro is one of the sons of Keturah, because he came from the Midianites. And the Midianites are the sons of Keturah. So they know the ways of God. Because the Bible said in Genesis chapter 18 verse 19 that I know Abraham my son, my servant. He will train his household in the ways of God. Abraham knew God so much that he took 318 servants and went to war. And all of them worked wonders. So they knew the ways of God. And so I know that Jethro understood something about priesthood. It was Jethro that told Moses that look at that mountain, is the mountain of God. That was where God appeared to your fathers. And if you seek God, you will find him there. And so many times when Moses goes to grace, Moses will go to Horeb just in case God will appear. And on one of those occasions, the Bible said he saw a bush burning that was not consumed. And he said, I will turn and see this great sight. The moment he turned, he heard God speak, take off thy sandals. Where you are standing is a holy ground. A man who has caught burden will graduate to become a seeker. And when you become a seeker, God opens virgin dimensions to you. In Matthew chapter 7 from verse 7, he says, ask you will receive. Seek you will find. Knock, the door will be open. That is the life of a seeker. When he asks and answers are not coming, he will press further and probe. When it doesn't happen, he will knock until the door opens. But by all means, he will not go back until he sees something. He will not go back until he hears something. And so a generation that wants to work wonders must have the stamina and the capacity to turn away from the distraction of the world and seek him that dwells in the midst of the coals of fire. I'm telling you why we are powerless, although highly religious. But you see, religion does not equate spirituality. A man who is truly spiritual, you will know him by the depth of his seeking. And when you check all of these patriarchs that I have mentioned, you will see how long they sought God and remained there. Moses took 40 years of seeking. He never changed his mind. I was studying the book of Ezekiel and I was marveled. This guy encountered God and God told him, lie on your right side for 390 days. And a man laid on his right side for 390 days because he was interceding for Israel. He was seeking something in God that was not common. And God said, when you finish, turn to your left side and lie for 40 days. So one man laid down for 430 days so that the purposes of God can find expression. And when he finished, he became a wonder. It was from that moment that you will hear Ezekiel will tell you, and the Spirit of God took me by the lock of my hair. So Ezekiel immediately entered a realm of spiritual translocation because of what happened. He will be lying down and his spirit will leave him and be strolling in town. So you can meet Ezekiel in town and assume you have met him. He's at home. The one you met is his spirit. Ezekiel began to operate as a double. It was on one occasion like that. He said, the Spirit of God carried me to a valley of dry bones. And he said the bones were really dry. Ezekiel 37. And he said, the Lord asked me, mortal man, can these bones live? He has started entering adventures in God. See, wonders are sought, and those who seek them will find them. Can these bones live? He said, only thou knowest. And he said, command the bones. How can you be talking to dry bones? And the bones became an army because a man of wonder had emerged. A point will come when, I wish some of us who are here will take time to study about the man who is leading this work. A man of God said he went to see God's servant, Daddy Gio, and they kept him for 4 hours. Usually when I come here, I see God's servant. Did I do something wrong? What happened? He was checking himself. What did I do? And when God's servant came out and eventually asked for him to come, he now came and said, sorry, I was in a meeting with Isaiah. That's why I delayed. You will think it's just to kneel down. When you come to preach, you will kneel down on the altar and say, Daddy, you are joking. These men wait on God until heavenly messengers come to them. And so when you see them become so big, there is something that has impregnated them. Isaiah just left me. I had a meeting. So the one you read in a book and quote as an intelligent preacher, he met him bodily. And so when he comes out of that encounter, when he's talking, he can bring the prophetic era of Isaiah to your dispensation. That's how wide this man rose up and became mighty. And so signs and wonders naturally follow them. They sit on God until God impregnates them. And when they come into their generation, all you can see is God. And a man can talk casually. Somebody shared the testimony. His life was stagnated for close to 15 years, if I got the date right. And he went to see the servant of God. And he told him, go, but don't forget to come and testify. What kind of prayer is that? I am stagnated. Address the problem. You say, go. Don't forget to come and testify. What are you saying exactly? And the guy left. When he left, 1 week later, he met somebody. And the person said, I've been trying to reach you. What do you mean you have been trying to reach me? Did I go to the moon? I've been around. But you see, if the door is shut, I can be standing with you like this, but I won't remember you. That's why you can stand like this. Somebody will leave you and go and bless somebody outside. And then you are wondering, why? And the man told him, I have some properties I want to give out. I heard you know something about real estate. Take. Properties worth billions. He said, but sell it. He gave him a highly discounted rate. Whatever you make, keep it. Are you okay? What happened? He met somebody who spoke a season over him. I know a senior friend. He is an oil baron. And on one of those occasions, he was sick for 9 months. He would just be throwing up. He can't eat. And he was so weak. And he went to see God's servant. And when he came, God's servant said, you are not sick. But you wouldn't have come here. So this is why you came. This is the only thing that can humble you to come. So now that you have come, when you leave here, that thing will go. Now, that's not prayer. He's dictating to him his experiences. And as he was talking, he said, you have some vessels on the high sea. He said, one of them will be caught, will be stolen tonight. The guy said, no. All my vessels are insured. He said, one of your vessels will be taken tonight. But since you don't believe, come back after it happens. The guy said, wait. He called his manager. He said, did you insure those vessels? The manager said, yes, I told. You told who? You used to insure vessels. What happened? Because they insured one vessel for 20 million at that time. Call him right now. Let's know what's happening. When he called, he said, he didn't do it, but let me follow up now. While they were following the process, pirates took the vessel. That was when the man knelt down and discovered that he met a man of God. Because a billionaire will think preachers are just talking. And you can't blame them because they have met many fake people. The next time he came, the designation changed from pastor to daddy. So the daddy is not manipulation. You have seen a covering that you can't explain. And he said, don't worry, go. You will find it. God is doing all of these things to encounter you. And when the man went, they called police, they called Interpol, they called everywhere, and they were searching. So he got tired. He just went to sit somewhere in an eatery just to refresh himself. While he sat there, he now heard some people talking about a vessel that was stolen. And they said they were heading towards either Cameroon or something. Immediately, he called his friend. That's how they picked those people from Italy and got vessel. Because when these men speak, they manipulate your season. So even if it was not happening, when they talk, they put it there. Now, this is not for a daddy Geo. This is for anybody who will seek God. Because when you seek him deep enough, his dimensions become your realm. I said that so that you will know the kind of things that are happening in the family that you belong. How can you now live as an ordinary Christian? Even when they talk about God, it looks like a story that is distant. Meanwhile, this dimension is resident where you live. Something needs to happen to your heart to make you hate natural life. Because your default mode is not to live like a natural man. You know what Paul said? He said, the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God. He said, neither can he know them because they are spiritually discerned. That means Christians are not natural men. We are spiritual men. We represent God in a generation. But when you find a man who lives by circumstances, luck and chance, it means although he's born again, but he's still operating in the fallen realm. And so for such a people, something must happen to their heart to cause them to begin to seek dimensions of God. You will tell yourself, Father, there is such a thing called the Commonwealth of Israel. That means what you have is for everyone. I refuse to be without an inheritance. What is the dimension of the Spirit you have allocated to me? Lord, I press for it. And when these things begin to happen, you will now begin to seek him through the gateways of the spirit realm. And one of those gateways is prayer. Another is fasting. Another is waiting upon the Lord. See, the reason Christians are barren is because they are not seekers.